I connected with a man online, fell for him, then learned he has HPV and severe health issues. Now, I took him overwhelmed and unsure. Yesterday, I realized I was experiencing burnout. I feel overwhelmed with my thesis project in college, family obligations at home, and on top of that, the relationship I began with a friend from late 2022. To summarize, I am a 24-year-old woman, and he is a man in his late 30s. We have not met in person yet. I sincerely hope he does not find this page or follow this subreddit, as I have yet to discuss this with him, and I am anxious about what might happen after I post this. I live in Asia, while he resides in the Middle East. We met on Discord, and I know many of you might shake your heads at that, considering it a poor choice for finding love. Joking aside, I genuinely thought we had a connection. We became close because our birthdays are close together, and we share several interests. We initially hit it off as friends before developing a more intimate connection, which ideally is not how these things usually unfold, but I felt an attraction to him. However, he began to exhibit negative behaviors towards others in the online communities we shared, and unfortunately, he started projecting that negativity onto me. I held my ground and confronted him when he hurt me. Though he apologized, he had already damaged our friendship and became a disappointing companion. He expressed jealousy towards younger individuals, especially the guys I would talk to. Even at that point, we were still just friends, not a couple. He believed he had control when he suggested that the men I interacted with only sought me for sexual reasons, which was entirely untrue. I despised this phase he went through. He was no longer the person I had known prior to his troubling actions and negative attitude towards others. I chose to end our friendship, but fast forward to 2024, and about an hour before my birthday, I considered reaching out to him to check in and discuss the sudden distance between us. While not the best decision when reconnecting with someone to whom you've been vulnerable emotionally and physically, I felt he deserved to know how his actions had affected me and to represent the friends he had briefly harmed. He had a right to understand how he had hurt people and acknowledge the many times he acted poorly towards those who had been kind to him. I did not anticipate that he would apologize and take responsibility for his actions, while also asserting that he felt justified in some of his past behaviors. For instance, he became upset and turned against a mutual friend simply because the friend stole a job after he had facilitated the connection. His bitterness led to the collapse of that friendship, revealing his stubborn pride. A week after my birthday, he returned to me and sincerely apologized for the pain he had caused me, promising to extend the same to others he had wronged. He followed through on that promise, apologizing to those he had hurt in the past, which I appreciated. We resumed our conversations, and I felt as if we had returned to our previous friendship, this time without any sexual exchanges. Then 2 months later, he asked if, despite all the previous hurt he had caused, I could still consider pursuing a relationship with him, expressing that his feelings for me were rooted in admiration rather than mere physical attraction. At that moment, I hesitated to leap into it, as I was wary of getting hurt again. However, as time passed, he demonstrated a desire to take our relationship further. It took me quite a while to ponder this proposition. I am known for overthinking things, even though I try not to. While on a trip to Taiwan, the travel back and forth, along with the enjoyment of my time there, provided me the space to reflect. Upon returning home, I finally gave him my answer midway through the month. I was open to pursuing this relationship. I had fallen for him during our initial meeting and when we reconnected. We both felt a sense of happiness, but we also knew communication within the relationship would be challenging. We made tentative plans to meet, which would depend on my feelings concerning the relationship. As we continued to learn more about each other, aspects of his upbringing came to light, providing clarity regarding his behavior, not to justify it, but to help me understand. Now, in the year 2025, I find myself growing uneasy as things are becoming too serious. The excitement is tinged with fear as I get closer to being with him for the first time. As we delve deeper into each other's lives, much of his troubling past has begun to surface, aligning with conversations we had from 2022 through 2024. I realized he had not been entirely truthful with me, and I'm about to meet this man, who is older and resides in a foreign country where I will have no one to turn to except for the airport. He had mentioned time spent in military jail, supposedly explaining his difficulty in finding work or maintaining any qualifications or insurance. The very word jail raises concerns for anyone. I wanted to learn more, but he deflected, which caused me to withdraw some of my trust. I sincerely hope no one will judge me too harshly when I admit I chose to give him the benefit of the doubt and did not press him further about that part of his past, though I know I need to confront it soon. Over the weeks, my thoughts have become overwhelming and my concerns are starting to grow. You see, it took me a substantial amount of time to contemplate entering this relationship because he has numerous health issues and disabilities. While I have no worries about his disabilities within our relationship, I fear there are many things he wishes to accomplish for himself and with me that may be hindered. It will be a challenge for me to find ways to support him since he has communicated that he does not require my assistance. He only hopes for my companionship as he navigates these difficulties, which I accept and understand. Nonetheless, I wish I could do more than just provide comfort. He has been diagnosed with a syndrome causing chronic, widespread pain, dyscalculia, and osteoarthritis. Additionally, he suffers from an autoimmune disorder. He is on various medications, and our mutual goal is to one day marry. As his future partner, I recognize I will need to contribute significantly to household finances and more, which is manageable for me as I have a stable and well-paying career. But if we decide to have children, I would need to consider either seeking a raise or finding a higher-paying job. Another significant revelation surfaced recently when he confessed to having human papillomavirus, HPV. My knowledge on HPV is limited, but I wish he had disclosed this sooner, especially given our plans to meet and the potential for intimacy. I was understandably shocked, but took the matter seriously because he means a great deal to me and I genuinely care about him. He further explained that he had been dishonest about past relationships, admitting to several casual encounters, many of which were unprotected. I honestly struggled to find the right response until now. I assured him that my perception of him had not changed. I just wished he had been more cautious in his past. I understand people may have different views on their partner's past, but learning so much about his history, though unsettling, has made me concerned. I know he feels ashamed and fearful about his past, and I want to comfort and support him, but it is a lot for me to process right now. I consulted my doctor about HPV and what steps I should take if my partner has the virus. She provided me with the information I needed, but warned me that engaging in intercourse with him could be risky. The standard precaution is to receive the vaccine. Since he revealed his HPV status, I have not spoken to him because it has been overwhelming for me to handle. I remain a virgin. While I have sent him explicit photos and engaged in some dirty talk and role play during video calls, I have never had intercourse. My concerns are weighing heavily on me, and it pains me to admit that they are affecting our relationship. I have not reached out to him since that revelation, nor have I confided in anyone about this situation. I sought comfort in asking people online for advice, although I recognize that some responses may be harsh, which I am prepared to accept. Now, I am starting to contemplate ending the relationship. I have internalized the reality of what life with him might entail, and I believe I am not ready for that level of commitment. It is currently 2 a.m., and I find myself crying, wishing and praying that this situation had never come to pass. I entered this relationship, and now I am uncertain how to let it go. Beyond the disconnect we previously shared, his past, and his numerous health challenges, he is fundamentally a person who perseveres and faces each day with resilience, maintaining a positive outlook despite everything. He is passionate about achieving his goals. He is a source of strength for me, teaching me that anything is possible despite the struggles he has faced. He is also caring and loving. It breaks my heart to admit that he is actively working on becoming a better person. This situation is painful because I want nothing but the best for him. It grieves me to acknowledge that much of the time he lives in pain, and I am unsure if I can be by his side as he endures that suffering. I question if I am strong enough to witness his declining health. We have discussed the prospect of having children, yet I cannot bear the thought of my future kids losing their father. I feel utterly helpless. I want to end this relationship, but he seems overly concerned about me. He continuously texts me, and I respond with lies about being busy with work and school, when in reality, I'm simply burnt out and overwhelmed by everything going on. I do not know how to proceed from here. I want to break up with him, but letting go feels so difficult. I love him dearly, and the thought of losing him causes me great pain. I am tortured with the knowledge that this will also hurt him amidst his current struggles. Where do we go from here?